Welcome to DianaWho Fitness. And today's video, Engaging Your Core, which is the first video in my series, Total Body Awareness. Now, I wanted to start today by just talking a little bit about what exactly the core is, because people talk about it a lot. My whole entire series is going to be about it, so we should define it. So what is your core? Your core is made up of the inner muscles of your abdominals, the muscles that help support your spine, your pelvic floor, your diaphragm, and all of these things work together to stabilize your body when it's in motion. So that's why having a strong core is the important foundation for any workout program. Today's exercises are going to be few and slow-paced and low repetition because the point here is to establish that very important mind-body connection that we need to keep ourselves from getting injured and also just to make the exercises as effective as they possibly can be. So today I encourage you to be patient with yourself. Go slowly. You don't have to do as many repetitions as I'm doing. You don't have to do it at the same pace that I'm doing it. You should do it at a pace that's comfortable for you. Also, I would encourage you to come back to these workouts repeatedly throughout each week to help establish the mind-body connection and also to help build your muscles up and get you used to what good form feels like. Okay, so we're gonna start on the mat today. So get down on your mat and let's get going. So first we're gonna slowly roll back, roll the spine, slowly release. So lie with your knees bent and you want them to be about hip width apart. Take a moment, kind of get yourself situated on the mat. Feel free to close your eyes, kind of just get comfortable. Take a couple breaths. Inhale and exhale. And sort of as you exhale, feel your muscles relaxing into the mat. Take another breath in and out. One more, and this time when you inhale, try to take in every little bit of air that you can. And then I want you to hold it at the top for 5 seconds before you release. And when you exhale, exhale very, very slowly and let every little bit out, just your diaphragm releases. Okay, one more. One, two, 3, 4, 5, and now just breathe kind of normally and open your eyes if they were closed. Okay, recheck and make sure that your knees are about hip width apart. Your feet are flat on the floor. And your hands can be flat on the floor right now, or you can put them on your lower abdomen so you can feel your lower abs working and your pelvic floor. So what we're going to do here is, first of all, before we do that, we're going to check our back. Our lower back should be flush against the floor. It shouldn't be arched like this. I don't know if you can see. It shouldn't be arched like that. It should be flat, and you should have your lower abdominals completely engaged right now, and your pelvic floor should be engaged. Your shoulders should be neutral and just your shoulder blades resting against the floor. Your whole back should be flat against the floor right now, and you should be using your lower abs, your glutes to make it as in addition to your inner core muscles to make that happen. Okay, so now we're going to do some pelvic rolls. And the purpose of this exercise is to help you know what it feels like when your lower back in particular stays neutral and your lower abs and your core muscles are completely engaged. So there should be no stress on your lower back. So as we do these pelvic rolls, what you're going to do is we're going to take in a big deep breath. I'm going to demonstrate first. I'm going to take in a deep breath. And as we exhale, you press your lower back into the floor and you engage your glutes and push your pelvis, tilt your pelvis up slowly, a little bit at a time. My lower abs are completely engaged right now, my hamstrings and my glutes. Go up to the point where you can't go any further, and you don't want to go too high because you don't want to stress your back. You want to remain in line here. Your hips should be in line. So, okay, then hold. Take another breath in, and then slowly back down. We're going to let the spine curl. Don't just go like that. You don't want to plop back down. We want to start at the top. Okay, so, and then slowly roll back down a little bit at a time. Your tailbone should be the last thing to touch the floor. And when you're at the bottom, you can release your lower abs for a moment. It takes some time to build those muscles, and probably, you know, for if you're just starting out here, they might be pretty weak. So, and that's okay. That's why we're doing this. Okay, so now we're going to do that 3 times. So this time I want you to do that with me. Okay, so knees are hip width apart. You can put your hands on the floor or on your lower abs, whichever is more comfortable for you. Make sure that your back is flat against the floor. You want your lower abs engaged. You want your transverse abdominis engaged. You want your muscles along your spine engaged. Your glutes, your hamstrings should all be engaged. Okay? All right. So, here we go. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press your spine into the floor and tilt your pelvis up. Lead with your pelvis, engage your glutes and your hamstrings and your lower abs, and go as far up as you can go. Don't go too far. And then I want you to hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then take a deep breath in and slowly lower back down, a little bit at a time. And then release at the bottom. It's not so bad, is it? Okay, so let's do that again. We're going to do the second time. Remember, knees hip width apart. And take a deep breath in. And exhale. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and okay, one more time. And take a deep breath in and up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Now I notice, like, looking at myself here, that it'd be easy to flex your shoulders and like lean into them when you're engaging your core. So make sure that you don't do that. Okay, what we're gonna do now is called a spine stretch. And what I want you to do first is, when you're sitting in this position, sit with your legs straight and about this, and I'm not a mathematician, whatever angle this is, that's comfortable. You don't want your legs to be out too far. You want it to be where it doesn't hurt, you know, but maybe you feel a little stretch. And you want to have your quads engaged here. You want to have your lower abs engaged. You want to have your glutes engaged and obviously, you know, all of your inner core muscles, okay? And then put your fingers, your fingertips like this. Put them behind, just behind you, and press your chest forward. Don't flex your shoulders. It's just, you want to retract your shoulders just a little bit. Push your chest out. Keep your legs straight and engaged. Don't lock your knees, however. And you want your big toes pointing up to the ceiling at all times. So this is helping to align your spine and just get you ready for the stretch. Okay, so then once you've done that, keep your posture. And you do want your shoulders, like I said, to be just slightly back, but not like this, but you want to be totally engaged in here. Okay, and don't flex your shoulders. Okay, so now reach your arms in front of you like Frankenstein's monster. Okay, so here, and keep, again, it's very important that you keep everything here is engaged. Your total body awareness. Remember, you feel that everything is engaged, nothing is locked, nothing hurts, nothing should ever hurt. Okay, so then put your arms out in front of you with your fingertips out and take a deep breath in. And then hold your breath, and as you exhale, I want you to lean over, like there's a big beach ball right here that you're leaning over. So you're gonna curve your spine in here. Let me show you from the side. So see, that's how you get your spine aligned. Okay, so then here, take a deep breath in, and then imagine a beach, did I say volleyball? Imagine a beach ball right here that you're just stretching over. So you want your spine to curl. Okay, so. So, this is for demonstration purposes. Up here, make sure your shoulders are neutral. Your back should be neutral. Everything's engaged. Your inner thighs, your pelvic floor, inner abdominals, your spinal muscles, they're all engaged. And you want your arms straight out in front of you. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, over the beach ball until it's comfortable. And then inhale and then down, stay, and you don't have to stay here, but once you've gone as far as you can go, take a breath in and come back up. And back to a perfect posture again. Okay, so we're gonna do that 5 times. So again, make sure your spine is aligned. Okay, then here you want your shoulders neutral. You don't want them flexed. You don't want them back. You don't want them forward, maybe slightly protracted here, just a little bit. Toes pointed up to the ceiling. Legs engaged. Okay, arms out in front of you. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, go. Okay, do that 4 more times. And over. Make sure everything is engaged here. Don't flex your shoulders. Keep your toes pointed up to the ceiling and again. And one more time. Okay. So next, we're gonna do what's called sit and reach, which is a move that might be familiar to you. Here again, you're gonna have your knees bent, and here they can be together. You want them, your feet together and your knees together. And again, make sure that your shoulders are neutral, your spine is good, all your core muscles are engaged. And reach your hands out in front of you, and you can have them together like this. And then you want to come back, but make sure here that your make sure here that your pelvis is tucked under. Your abs are engaged. You can squeeze your thighs together here, which is actually engaging your inner thigh muscles. Okay, you want your shoulders to stay not flexed. You want them to be neutral and flat. Okay, so lean back and engage your abdominals and your core muscles and reach back. And then come back up. Inhale and then exhale. Reach back. Back up. And when you go back and you reach your hand back, pause there for a second, because then you can kind of make sure that you still have everything engaged and everything is where it's supposed to be before you go back up. So again, we'll do 2 more on each side. Okay, so next, why don't we just take a second here and pull your knees up to your chest. Not too much, don't overextend your spine, but just kind of hug your knees in and give your core and your back a break for a second. You can rock back and forth and sort of massage your spine. Okay. So now we're going to do an exercise that mostly involves the lower body and the lower abs, called the leg drop. And there's not much upper body involvement unless you want there to be. You could include the upper body in this exercise if you choose to. So let's take our knees in again. And then when you're ready, take in a breath and exhale. And as you exhale, straighten your legs as much as you can. Just straighten them as much as you can get them to straighten out. And you might want to drop them and then straighten them again and breathe. Breathe into your muscles. And here, you really want your thighs to be together. You want to pretend that there's a ribbon between your thighs that you're holding in place. So what I want to do right now is just for us to sit here like this, with our legs extended. Don't lock your knees, but you want to try to straighten your hamstrings as much as you can. If it hurts, don't go any further. If it hurts, just let your leg drop for a second and breathe into it. And then you can go back up again. So I just want you to first understand what it feels like when you're in a position like this and you have to have everything engaged. You have to have your lower abs engaged. You have to have your glutes engaged and your inner thighs are engaged, your quads are engaged. So let's just hold this for a few seconds and take a few deep breaths. And again, make sure your back is flush against the mat. Shoulders are neutral, not flexed. Just one more breath. Okay, then bend your knees and give yourself a break for a second. You massage your spine a little bit. Okay, now this time we're going to straighten our legs again, and this time put your hands behind your head. And so here, you can keep your head down. Of course, you still have to make sure your back is all flush against the floor and everything's engaged. so don't lose your form. But you can leave your head resting on the floor and just drop one leg at a time, like this. Bring it back up and then down. Now here, what's important to pay attention to is you don't want any wobbling. If you have wobbling, you're not using correct form. You don't have your core engaged if you're wobbling. Okay, so let's do this again. Inhale. Drop your leg. Exhale. Let it touch the floor, but do not let your back arch. And then use your abs to pull it back up. And then the other one. Don't let your back arch. Don't wobble. And if you want to, like I said, you can lift the head here. So make sure that your shoulders stay neutral. We'll do 2 more on each side. And release. Give your back a break for a second. Okay, so now that we have tormented our lower abs relentlessly, let's do an exercise that's mostly for your upper abs, but it's another exercise where you really have to engage your whole core in order to support yourself when you're holding isometrically up, which is, okay, so let me tell you what the exercise is first. So this is the prayer crunch. So put your hands like as if but you want your shoulders to be, back and down. You don't want them flexed, maybe slightly protracted, slightly forward, but not like this. Don't use your shoulders. Use your core and your abs to pull yourself up. So, okay, check yourself. Make sure your back is flush against the floor. Make sure everything's engaged. And then take a breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to pull up, but again, don't use your shoulders. Make sure your back is against the floor. Make sure that your pelvis is tucked under. You don't want your back to be arching like that. Tuck your pelvis under. Make sure this is all engaged. Make sure your inner muscles and your abs are engaged. Hold your hands up. Keep your shoulders neutral. And just lift your whole upper body as much as you can using your abs. And then I want you to hold there, okay? So we'll hold for 20 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Release. Did you feel that in there? That's when you can really feel your whole abs engaged, and you can also feel your glutes engaging there to keep your back in place, and your inner thighs, and your pelvic floor, of course. So we're going to do that 2 more times. Okay? You guys ready? Take a little breath here. And this time I'll just count in my head, okay? So, arms up, make sure your shoulders are neutral. Don't use your shoulders. Keep everything in line, and up. and release. Take a couple breaths. Check your spine, make sure everything is where it's supposed to be, make sure everything's engaged. And we'll do that one more time, okay? Ready? And release. Okay, good job. These, that's what I said, is these exercises they look simple, but when you're really doing them correctly, they're actually pretty challenging. So, and I want you to be patient with yourself if you're struggling with that a little bit, because it does take time to build the muscles up. So for our final exercise, we're going to do swimmers, which probably you remember from gym class when you were in school. But I find that it's actually, we've done a lot on our anterior chain, and I'd like to do a little, just one exercise at least on our posterior chain. So lie down on your belly on your mat and make sure that even though you're on your belly, make sure that your pelvis is tucked under and your glutes are engaged. You want to make sure that that's, because you don't want your back to arch, you don't want to hurt your back or put stress on your back. Make sure your lower abs are engaged. Okay, and we're just gonna take a couple breaths here, but do not relax. Let everything stay engaged. Take a couple breaths in. Okay, now make sure you got everything engaged. Make sure your glutes are engaged. You want your inner thighs engaged. Point your toes. And I don't have that much space here, but if you do, reach your arms fully out in front of you and lift up so that you're just on your belly. But make sure that, like I said, everything is engaged. And hold here for a second. And then swim. Just swim. Use your glutes here, especially. You should feel them burning. Your hamstrings. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now come back into child's pose, and I find that because of my back issues and also because I have a little belly, it's more comfortable for me to do child's pose with my knees kind of out at an angle, and that might be true for you too. Put your hands in front of you and come down. Support your head and your neck with your arms and your shoulders, but keep your shoulders neutral, slightly protracted. Take a couple breaths. And then just before we finish up, I'm going to do a little cat-cow here, just to kind of get our spine back into its normal position. So here you want your shoulders neutral, slightly protracted. Your hands should be under your shoulders. Your knees should be under your hips and hip width apart. Okay, and here what you want to do is, you can use your toes if you have bare feet, but you don't have to. On this part, when you retract, you still want to keep everything engaged. Don't put tension on your spine. Don't think of it as curling your spine so much as stretching your lower abs here. So focus on your lower abs here when you are retracting. Keep them engaged. Keep your glutes engaged. And then back up, and you want to here totally protract your back. And exhale. And then back to this position again. And you can, like I said, you can put your toes or you can leave your feet neutral. It's up to you. And make sure that your shoulders are staying neutral here. You really just want your spine moving here. You don't really want anything else moving. And this is the kind of exercise that you can do to warm up or to relax or to stretch. So do it as many times as you want, as many times as feels good to you. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you found these exercises doable and valuable. And I also want to encourage you to come back and do this video again over the next week or over the next few weeks and just build those muscles up and get used to what it feels like to engage your core all the time. Wet your lips and make love.